Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome to another video on my channel. Today we are celebrating Jen's 1,000 subscribers, so a bunch of us are getting together and scrap lifting her. Now here you go. This is the layout that I am scrap lifting. It is a very black and white layout. It has 3 photos. I'm just using one, but this is the layout that I chose, so let's see what I can do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put out there is that her layout is very black and white, and I decided to bring in a little bit of color with mine. I didn't bring in as much mixed media as I had planned on because I thought it was getting a little bit much and we needed to trim that down a little bit. Now this is a stencil. I have no idea where it came from. It is a stencil that I've had in my stash for a very long time, and I am using some Brutus Monroe Velveteen Glaze. And Velveteen Glaze is a glaze that dries matte. It's pretty cool. It's weird because it has it's like a smoother than a texture paste finish, but it's matte and like hard fluffy when it dries. And I wish I could describe to you in like the perfect words of what hard fluffy means, but it's like hard flock is what it's like. And I'm going to leave the entire process of me doing this in here because I enjoy it. Not just doing it, but I also enjoy watching it. So when I watch scrapbooking videos on YouTube, most of the time, the longer the better for me because I put them on and I create a playlist and I just have them go one right after the other. However, there are some times where I want 10 to 13 minute videos, and that's for when I'm getting ready in the morning, and those are the perfect length for then. So I am a person that definitely likes a mixture of the shorter videos and the longer videos. And I know that everybody has their own kind of style and what they prefer to do and what they prefer to watch on YouTube. And I feel like I am kind of like I am in my scrapbooking. I'm a little all over the place, but I love it all. So there we go. We have the reveal. Now, as you can see, part of that over on the right-hand side did have a little bit of bleed through, and that's because I played with it so much. Like I just kept pushing it through the stencil, and eventually if you keep pushing things through a stencil like that, it is gonna bleed through. Now they do make things like pixie spray where it adds a tacky adhesive to the back side of your stencil, and that is supposed to help with the bleed through. But I've never purchased it myself. I keep saying I'm going to, but I just haven't done it. Now for this, I am using washi tape, and I am using washi tape because I am going to create my own glitter cardstock. And to do that, I'm just kind of eyeing up the what are these called? Stripes. Wow, people. The word stripes just poofed from my brain there for a second. So I am using the washi tape just to kind of mark out where my stripes are going to be. I'm going to use this glitter paste. This is also from Brutus Monroe. If you guys didn't know, I am a huge fan of Brutus Monroe. I am on the inspiration team, but I was a huge fan of their products long before that. And I made it my personal mission in life to get everybody on the Glitter Glaze bandwagon, and now there's things like Velveteen Glazes, and you need to get on that too. And pretty soon going to bring out the hyperpigment, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, I just love the mixed media stuff. So I am spreading out this glitter glaze all along the stripes of the washi tape, and I am going right over top of the washi tape, and then as you can see, I'm going to take some of it off the washi tape, so I'm not just like wasting the glitter glaze, because this is a glitter glaze of the month, so that means it was made for the month that it shipped out on, and that's it. And you got to save that stuff because it's special. I am working on top of my glass mat because it will be easy to clean it off, so you can either wipe it down while it's still wet, or once it dries you can scrape it off with a straight razor. And that is usually what I do. Not because it's easier, but because I'm lazy, and I usually set it aside and it dries, and then I have to worry about cleaning it up after. So I am going to go ahead and wipe off my palette knife here just on a paper towel, and then I'm going to pull the washi tapes off, and then you'll be able to see the stripes. Now there is buckling from the moisture that is in the glitter glaze, and it's going into the cardstock, and that's okay. Once it dries, the buckling will settle down a little bit. There will still be like ripples in the paper, and that's just because when paper gets wet, it ripples, and when it dries, it stays that way. I am okay with that. I am not like freaking out over it. It's going to be fine. I'm just not worried about it. Now I will throw away the washi tape. So if you are going to be doing this, please don't use your favorite washi tape in the world because you're just going to toss it anyway. I am not afraid of throwing out my washi tape. I have, I don't even know how many rolls I have, and I'm not going to count them because that means that I have to like recognize that I have a problem, and I'm not going to do that. Now I am using some Velveteen Glaze through a stencil. This is a stencil from scrapbook.com, and that is the size stencil that they make, and I don't remember the size of it off the top of my head, but their stencil material is really thick. And sometimes that's a plus, and sometimes I want it to be a little bit thinner. Because the thinner your stencil material is, that means when you're putting mixed media things through it, it's not going to be that raised. It's going to be like lower. So that is something to think about when you are working with stencils. If you have a thicker stencil, you're going to have more media sticking in that stencil, and it's going to take longer to dry. If you have a thinner stencil, there's less media, and that's just the way it is. If you're just blending ink through a stencil, it doesn't really matter. But if you're putting media and it's going to stay in the stencil holes like this is, then if it's thicker, it takes longer to dry. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So now I have all the pieces, and I pulled out some more pieces from my scrap papers, and yes, that ViewMaster paper is a scrap paper. I don't keep little scraps of paper. They stress me out. I only keep the big scraps. And if that seems wasteful, then hey, then maybe it is. Okay? Maybe it is. Maybe I am not. I used to be the type of scrapbooker that saved every single teeny tiny little piece because I could use it somewhere on a layout. But honestly, that stressed me out. It took the joy out of my paper crafting, and it's just not worth it. Like, it's just not worth it. If I end up throwing away 5 sheets of paper at the end of the week because, full sheets, not like if I put all my scraps together and it came up to be 5 sheets, I'm okay with that because I am not stressing out. I am not feeling confined. I'm not feeling like I've got these things hanging over my head that I just have to use. It's just not worth it. And then what I've noticed too is I've really made differences in what kind of things I'm buying. So I no longer buy things just because it's on sale. I buy it because I like it. Besides a warehouse box, because that's a whole surprise thing. That's a whole different level of things. So we won't talk about surprise boxes, but if I'm picking out the individual items, I only buy it if I like it. I don't buy it just because it's on sale. Even when I went to Tuesday morning in Phoenix and we hit all those amazing Tuesday mornings, there was plenty of stuff that I would have bought just because it was cheap, but I didn't. I bought the cheap stuff because I liked it. So I have this whole mindset that, I want to say that I'm pretty much on track with it, but every once in a while you slip and you slide back into your other mindsets. So whatever. As long as the process and the journey of your paper crafting, whether you do cards, scrapbooking, mixed media, whatever it is, if you're loving it, then keep going, girl. Like, you just do you with your paper crafting. You don't have to paper craft for other people. And now I just got on that soapbox while I was putting my layers up. Now I did pull this little piece of glitter stock out, and yes, this is a smaller scrap size than I would usually keep. So like this is probably about the smallest of a scrap size that I would keep. But it's glitter paper, and glitter paper is special. And I don't always use glitter paper in big parts. Glitter paper is something that I do use in little bits. So see, there's a whole process that goes on in my head, and the things that make sense in my head might not make sense in your head. You might think every single piece of paper is as special as this little piece of glitter paper. And if you do, then save those pieces, but I don't. So there we go. Now I do flip through my thickers, and I'm just trying to figure out what words I am going to use because I do need to make a title. I've already switched Jen's sketch a little bit because, you know, I'm only using one photo, and my title is over here on the left instead of kind of under the photos. But that's okay. Like, I'm scrap lifting her, and I'm not copying her. Sometimes scrap lifts are copies, and that's great. Like, if you see a layout and you want to make that layout in your own album and you want to copy it, go for it. Usually when I scrap list somebody, though, it's not an exact copy. It's usually inspired by, or I copy something in particular, or it just, you can tell that that's where I got the inspiration from my layout. And that is what I did with this one, especially because I brought in a lot more color. Hers was a lot of black and white, and the pictures made it pop. But I want it to really draw you in to the socks in my photo because there's a lot of open space in that photo, and I just want you to see the Mickey socks. Fun fact, I do wear Mickey socks every day that I wear socks, especially to work. It is my one little bit of fun that is all me at work as I wear the Mickey socks. So yeah, sometimes I even pull my foot out of my shoe so they can see which Mickey socks I'm wearing at work. It's like a whole thing. Everybody knows that I do it. They know that I'm a little bit of a Disney fan. So I am mixing all kinds of fonts and letter stickers to make my title here. And I am trying to find something that will fit in between the B and the T. And I'm bringing in a lot of options. And I just want you guys to see like what my thought process is. Because sometimes when we edit videos on YouTube, we edit out a lot of the sitting and staring at the layout or the things that you try before you actually put it on. And I usually do that because if I left in all the sitting and staring at a layout, like these videos would be longer than they are, and sometimes I think I'm pushing it with how long my videos are. So I'm just figuring out which letters will work. So I pull these yellow striped letters from Freckled Fawn, and these have been in my stash for a very long time, and I haven't gotten rid of them because there was a significant amount of usable letters on here still. Now, the same thing with my paper scraps. If I get down on my sticker sheets or my thickers or whatever that doesn't have a lot of usable letters, and I know I'm not going to buy another set of them, either they don't make them anymore or I'm just tired of that font, then I get rid of them. I just do, because keeping those letter stickers makes me stressed out. Now, I do like to have a good amount of letter stickers to flip through and choose from. And that is just recent, I feel like, because I remember when we moved to California, I think I had one pack of thickers, literally one. And then when we set up my room and I started scrapbooking, I think I got up to like 7. And now I've got a lot. Let's just say I got a lot. Okay, just a lot. So I do that, and I said Mickey socks are beautiful, and I'm adding in a Mickey rhinestone head just because I thought it was cute and it matched. And now I'm just going to add in little bits to just give it a little bit more. Now these are the these are the enamel kind of shapes that my husband got me for my birthday. I'm probably going to talk about this for a little while. He's watched my videos before to figure out like things I was talking about, and that's how I got the Chamel glitter scissors. And then he watched my videos and learned that I was talking about enamel dots and was asking for ideas of where to get them. Well, he listened and he got them from someone's suggestion. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Now these are kind of puffy stickers from Fancy Pants, and these are old, but I grabbed the yellow, the black, and the red kind of little arrow things, and I just went ahead and added them onto the page as well. So this is a definite, very Mickey themed colored layout, and I hope with all the black, red, and yellow that draws your eye to the socks instead of the big expanse of carpet that's on there. And then I was thinking again about adding in the glitter, and I did like it there, and I was like, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to add that in. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of the YouTube hop to celebrate Jen's subscribers. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video. Make sure you go to Jen's page. She does have a giveaway. I can't believe I forgot that.